there has now been an article published, and I don't remember exactly where it was published. The fact that women are setting these standards, and you can keep calling them demands if you want, they're not demands, they're standards. Um, there is now an article that because women are setting these standards and not just taking anything and not allowing men to just treat them any old kind of way and not allowing men to just, run in and out of their beds, that quote unquote, the loneliness among young men is at an all-time high. The birth rate has dropped to a 400-year low. So what y'all seem to think your standards are going to change the game in your favor, it has not, because it has made you more lonely. It has gotten you less dates. It has gotten you less access to women because you choose to stand on your principle. It is now at an all-time high that men no longer have access to women. So, yeah.
That sounds nice, but men will always have access to sex, and I think that's the problem when we have this conversation is we're confusing women, right? When we say women, you have to separate the sex from the women. Women are the relationship part. The sex is just is the thing.
But you got to
Men will
buy sex
always
for
have,
$80 nowadays.
yeah, men will always have
You're going to have
immediate
to buy
access
it.
to sex. And that's fine because men will make a way to have access to sex, right?
But y'all
But
would
I think
rather, you'd rather pay a prostitute that done had many a ding-a-ling up in her than treat a nice girl right and get it, fresh and free and clear. Oh my God, how dumb are y'all?
right. So and I understand a lot of men are that way. But the thing is, it's not free and clear if you're telling me that women have all these demands and standards and stuff. So it's not free. I have to meet a certain
I mean,
standard.
free and clear of other men's ding-a-lings.
Well, that's the thing. See, now we're confusing the conversation because the women
I know what
the,
I said. You would rather pay a prostitute to come service you than have a decent woman who, is fresh out of college, got some good things going for her, good morals, good values, good, all around girl. You'd rather pay a prostitute than treat a good girl right and have
well,
it free and clear of other men's dicks.
Well, I'm glad you said it that way because do you think that a fresh and clean girl right out of college with things going for herself would have all these crazy demands of the men they're trying to attract?
Absolutely, because I would. My daughters do. I have two grown daughters, and
Uh-huh.
my daughters have those. My daughters are like me. They bougie.
Uh-huh. And you think that's what attracts them is having a crazy list of demands?
Excuse me.
You think that's what
My daughters
that's
don't
what
have demands. They have standards that I set in them, and their fathers set in them. So
okay.
no, my daughters do not have demands. They have standards, and you need to stop calling them demands because it's not demands.
Well,
Saying
we're
that I
talking
don't
about the
want to go to
list.
an Applebee's is not a demand.
We're talking about the list that the
Even
host put up.
even Noble agreed with the
I
majority
have a
of
question.
that list.
Uh-huh.
Even Noble knows better. That's not a demand, sir. That's just they're icky places to go. The food is gross. Like, ew. Why?
I understand.
He even agrees to not going to somebody's house on a first date because it's unsafe. That entire list is either a safety concern or an ick.
So here's my
Yeah,
thing.
that's what I was gonna ask. Do
That's
we
fine.
know what was the intentions behind the list? I've seen it, but I never really paid attention to it.
Well,
Like,
that's what I'm trying to get us to understand is that we start to convolute the conversation with too many different archetypes of women and men, and that's where it gets confusing. So if we're talking about those particular women, Mr. Noble, those women are stank. They're never gonna get the standard that they're demanding because they don't have any sense of what intention they're fueling those desires with. So they won't get the results that they think they're going to get. Not with a quality, good-hearted man that cares about you and all this other stuff. So those women are irrelevant. If you're a kind of woman that you twist your nose up in the air and you tell a nice, kind-hearted man to ask you out on a date, and you think you're just so high and mighty, your palate is just so amazing that you can't go to a regular outing just to get a bite of food to help sustain you while you share the company of a man that's interested in you, then you're not going to have any valid.
I think a
Not
lot
for a
of
first
that would come
date.
from conversation too, though, but prior to the date. So honestly, I don't know the intentions of the women who posted this list, but from what I've been listening, it seems like these are just places where they feel like there's no effort put into the date.
That's
Um,
exactly what it is.
and
Okay, but
that's just my opinion. I'm not, because I some of that stuff on the list I've actually gone to myself and I have a problem with it. But at the end of the day, it depends on the effort behind it. I don't think it would have been an issue if the person who's planning the date didn't just do this off of a whim. And that's just my opinion. I could be totally wrong, but somebody can correct me if that's not the
So,
intentions of this list.
do you think that a man's goal is to see how much money he can spend to feed you, or is he trying to get to know you?
Yeah,
It was absolutely
I think it
a
depends on
reason.
the
The young
person.
ladies were trying to say that they were low effort dates. No thought put into it, no energy, no effort. That's the reason the women made this list. That was the entire
Okay.
premise of that list.
And I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. Then, if that's the reason behind the list, I don't think there's, because you should all have standards. Like, I feel like it should be, if you want to date me, whether you are a man or a woman, there should be things that you look for that makes a person feel like they are interested in you. If all I'm doing is just half-ass doing some shit, then to me that's a good indicator how the relationship is gonna go. If I decide to be in a relationship with you,
Uh-huh.
that
I'm not gonna talk. I'm not gonna
but
keep going back and forth about it. I respect your opinions. My whole thing is I want my men to understand that you have to get something out of the situation, out of the date. You have to be a little more intentional than just taking her to $100 or $200, whatever the amount is. That has nothing to do with anything. A woman making those demands of you has zero to do with her character or her attitude or her desirability as a woman to say, I need to be at a $500 steakhouse or a $200 dinner or even hell, a $50 chicken dinner.
well, if a
That has
female is saying
zero.
that off the rip, then that shows a lot about her character anyway.
okay,
So
okay.
I don't think a
I
woman
want
who
to
will
say
be
something. I want
quality
to
is
say something
saying
because
that.
I want to say something because like people being disingenuous right now. Rob asked the woman, do they think that a man is trying to get to know them, or does he want to see how much money that he can spend on her? The answer is neither. If I was to ask the woman, are women really trying to get to know? Are a lot of women nowadays really trying to get to know men, or see what they can extract, see how much they can extract out of them? If we be 100% real, if we be 100% honest, because I'm not here to be disingenuous, a large percentage on both sides is in it for the wrong reasons. So like
I agree with
let's
that.
just call it what it is.
I can agree with that.
A lot of men do not have any genuine interest in getting to know a woman, and a lot of women do not have any genuine interest in getting to know a man. There is a big game being played out here. Men are trying to get ass, and women are trying to extract what they can extract out of men. So like let's just be real. All this back and forth that y'all talking about, let's acknowledge what's really going on.
Right. So my noble. So that's my
I
goal.
agree.
I'm glad you said it
I
because
agree too.
me as an educator and as a teacher, I was trying to walk us toward that what you just explained, right? Is that you have to set your intention. For a man, if you want to get them draws, right, you pay. You got to pay and set the mood and set the atmosphere. Get her the two bottles get the glasses of the Riesling. Get her the fingerling potatoes. Get the side of the lobster bisque. Get the bread. Get the rolls. Make sure do
But
that.
okay, so I've been listening to you, and It sounds like, again, you still are deceiving instead of just communicating. Hey, this is what because I feel like in today's society, most women that is alike, that if you came up if that was what your intentions were and you said that straight up, either they gonna be with it or they ain't. I don't know. Like, I just feel like you just doing the most, going through all the extra stuff to try to get it. If you just communicate, that's what you want from the jump.
Ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Do you think? Let me answer this question honestly, okay? Do
Yeah.
you do you think most women? Okay, let me say this first of all. You a lot of you women like to say like you want men to be upfront and honest with you. If majority of men decided to be really honest and upfront with women and really told a lot of you, because we just acknowledged that a lot of men don't have any genuine interest in getting to know a woman. So if 9 out of 10 men really started telling you that, hey, listen, you're beautiful. I don't really want to like have any sort of like relationship with you. All I want to do is clap your cheeks. If 9 out of 10 men came up to you every day and told you that, are you really going to be obliging to a certain number of those 9 men every day? Or are you not going to appreciate that? Be 100% honest.
I can speak for myself. I can't speak for all of the women. I have been approached like that before, and I turned that shit down. So for me, I respected it because they were straight up with me. So I don't know.
Exactly.
Hold on, hold on.
And
Hold
this
on,
is the
Angela,
thing, Noble. When you do that,
no,
you give
hold
the
on,
woman
guys,
a choice rather than take it away from her.
I'm getting to a point. Okay,
I mean, I understand your point. I just
okay,
can't.
okay, but answer my question then. Do you think most women want to be seen as sexual objects, or do you think they want to be seen as human beings?
No, everyone wants to be seen as a human being,
Okay,
but let me finish my statement. No, because I've seen too many women that on
Okay, stop.
TikTok,
Hold on.
on other social media platforms.
Wait.
Okay,
So if you can
okay.
acknowledge that most women want to be seen as human beings, do you understand why a majority of these men will not be upfront and tell a woman what exactly it is that they want? The
No,
same
I
way,
cannot see that. No.
wait. The same way majority of these women are not being upfront and telling these men what they want. The same way these women are running game on these men and playing game with these men. Like, God, let's stop all the games, all these semantics that you guys are doing.
I'm not playing the game. I'm just being
Noble,
honest with you.
noble.
Like,
Let me just say
I
this,
don't
man.
know.
That's why I'm saying what I'm saying, brother, because I'm trying. People are saying, what is he talking about? I'm talking about the game. As in, okay, if I want to say, like you joked about red pill, right? If I'm truly in my power as a man, from my perspective, from man's perspective, if a man really is standing 10 toes down, dick in the ground, and he comes and he sees a woman like expert and he wants them cheeks, he just gonna come up and say, I like you, I want you. You gonna get that thing up? That's a man standing on business. That's the new buzzword, standing on business. That's what a man would do if he really know he got it like that. Now, if a man wants to be a gentleman, he will ball up that question in a date, because that's part of the power. That's part of what women like, the atmosphere, the romance. So I mean, I'm trying to keep it real with the ladies. If you want a man to be good and genuine and da 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 da, don't be foolish. Like experts said, when we was kids, they used to play them games on us and break my heart. You a grown fiddly diddly woman. You know when a man want them draws, and you know when you want to be wined and dined. You already know when you're gonna give him the draws. You know that from jump. You
Okay,
know you're
so
gonna give him the
Noble, can I
draws.
answer your question real quick? Noble, can I answer your question?
Oh, my bad. I was on mute. Go ahead.
Okay, so this is the thing. You said it yourself, right? If men actually start, nine out of 10 men started going up to women and saying what they really want is just to clap some cheeks, and 9 out of those 10 women said no. That's the whole thing. When you tell a woman that, you give her a choice. And y'all know that 9 out of 10 women would make the choice to say no. When y'all lie, y'all play games, you manipulate, you gaslight, you coerce, and do all of that other shit, you are taking away the choice that you know that woman would have normally made. If 9 out of 10 of those women, or if the majority of women would say no to that because they respect themselves, and you know that the majority of women would respect themselves and tell you no, you also know that the only way you're going to get around that is to lie and game her. So y'all are being quote unquote disingenuous by saying that you basically have to play the game in order to get what you want. Y'all know that the majority of women ain't out here just caring about how much money a man's making, and that's what this other what Rob keeps going back to. He keeps focusing on the money aspect. The majority of girls out here do not care about the
Right.
money. Do
Baby,
not
That's what I
baby,
was
hold
care
trying to
on.
get at.
Expert, hold on.
do
You
not
be
That is
ranting
care
too
true.
much.
how much
Let's have
you're
a
spending.
conversation. Don't rant. Don't rant. Please, let's have a conversation. So
Stop
just
because
like
I
you,
didn't stop you. Do
hold
not.
on.
Don't do Don't
Just
do
like
it.
you like to get in your
Every
feelings,
time
you
you
like to say
speak,
what.
I stay quiet and I listen.
But hold
So
on, I
don't
don't
do
want you to
that
get
because what I'm
long-winded.
saying,
You
I
get in
want
your
people to
feelings.
hear.
You get into your feelings
I
and
want
you
it to
talking
be clear.
too loud. You talking too
I
loud and
want it to
wild.
be clear what I'm saying.
You
Ladies,
talking too
hear the
loud
sound
and
of my
wild.
voice. What they already know that
Oh my
9 times out
God.
of 10, if they tell you you just want to clap the cheeks, I mean, they just want to clap the cheeks. You are going to say no. That would be your normal choice because you want to be seen as a human being and not just a whole.
Well,
So they
fam,
lie to you, they
ma'am,
gaslight,
Hold on, Rob.
they
Let her finish.
manipulate you to get it.
ma'am.
Wait,
If
And
Rob,
I
Rob,
now
wait,
that
okay,
you
wait,
know
wait, wait,
that,
wait.
y'all are turning them down and they don't like it. You are setting standards and they don't like it. They have to work for it. They have to be genuine. They have to be real human beings and they don't like it. And they're trying to set these standards of their own in order to get around it, but it's not working and they don't like it.
So expert.
listen.
So wait, hold on, Rob. Wait. So expert. So to Rob's point, the same way that 90% of these women want to be seen as a human being, 90% of these men want to be seen as a human being. So what Rob is saying is, what Rob and I are saying is, what benefit is it going to be? Hold on, let me be quiet. Let me say this. So,
How about each
hold on,
other
man.
as
Let me
human
finish.
beings?
Hold on. I need to make sure these people hear me. So the same way 90% of these men want to be seen as human beings, if women are going around and saying, "Oh, all I want you for is I want you for your money, and I want you to buy this for me, and I want you to buy that for me." Let me ask you, women on the panel, do you think that what percentage of out of 10 men, what percentage of men do you think don't want to be seen as a human being? Don't you think at least 90% of those men want to be seen as a
I
human being?
agree with you what you're saying. Agree about the men. Yes, we all should be looking at each other as human beings and not what you can get from each other. That so,
Okay. So
but I
nobody's
don't
going.
think it is a big number of women out here. Like I have seen men say on this only on TikTok that is only going after men for their money. It has only been like this on TikTok. I've seen people or men saying that, oh, these women are out here just trying to, gain a bag. When I've heard plenty women say they don't care about that. They just want a man to do X, Y, and Z. I haven't seen it. Even in my personal life, I haven't seen that.
Ma'am, how old are you?
I'm 37 and
Okay.
I'm married.
Okay. I'm 26. Did you have the same mentality pertaining to men and what you actually valued or cared
I
about in
did.
them when you were
I did
25?
because of how I grew up. Yes, I did. Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Do you think that's do you have a daughter? Do you have any
I
nieces?
do. I do. I have a daughter. I have
So
plenty cousins that's in your age. It's in your age group. Yes.
So these women in their early and mid 20s, they get on Black Girl Luxury TikTok every day. They are on Instagram looking at the lifestyle that these baby mamas and girlfriends and wives of athletes and entertainers are portraying. You don't think that that's what a lot of them aspire to have?
No,
Are you
I have
asking me about
6
my
daughters.
cousins, or are you asking me in general? Because you asked me specifically about do my daughter and my cousins.
No,
My
no,
daughters,
I'm not talking about your daughter and your niece or your cousin now. I'm talking about women in this age demo. Look, I'm gonna just tell you like this,
okay,
man.
I have people that I associate with that are in your age bracket, and I'm gonna just tell you, no, the women that I know, no, they don't aspire to be that. But again, I think that just goes back to people's upbringing and what they value. So
Okay, okay. So, but man, would it be disingenuous? Okay, for a young woman that's family minded, isn't it wouldn't it be disingenuous for to say that she doesn't care about like a man's financial status? Doesn't a woman that wants to have a family one day and wants to have a provider man, isn't a man's financial status something that you should care about? Isn't his career and how much money he makes and how he's able to manage his money, aren't those things that she should very much take into consideration?
You're talking about 2 different
you're
things,
talking
Noble.
about two different things, though,
You're talking
Noble.
about 2
You're
different
talking about two
things.
different things. So a woman who's only dating you just because of how much money you make, that's different than someone who has the mindset, oh, is this person knows how to manage their money? Because you don't have to make a whole lot of money to be able to manage your money and to be able to take care of your family. And I'm just speaking from how I would have told you this if I was your age or younger, because this is how my parents raised me and how I know other women that are being raised that's in your age bracket. So that's why
Anyway,
I say I can't. It's hard for me to sit there and think that it's so many women out here that only want a man for their money when I'm hearing the total opposite from women in your age bracket.
Ma'am, I'm not.
You just have two different things in the same ball of wax. No, it's 2 completely different things. And I have 6 daughters. And yes, 2 of my 2 that I gave birth to are bougie like me. They just like certain things, but they are of a family mindset. My oldest daughter just had her first baby with her husband. So understand that there are 2 different kinds of women that you're talking about, and you're trying to put them all in the same ball of wax. The
Right.
I
ones the
understand,
ones
but
I
Noble,
have
can I
6
say something, Noble,
daughters.
please, man?
Go ahead.
We got people ranting, man. We don't need the ranting and the yelling and the screaming, because that's the thing. It's
Ain't
not about
nobody
If
being.
I sound like I'm coming off
It's
yelling,
not
I
ranting.
about being
apologize. I'm not
personal,
trying to
man.
yell.
It's not about being personal. It's not about taking it your personal life. Your personal life don't dictate the lifestyle
No,
of thousands of people.
you're right, but again, I was talking about people on TikTok, and I'm not trying to yell. I'm trying to make sure I talk where you guys can hear me. So if I'm coming off as I'm yelling, I do apologize. That's not my intention. What I'm saying is, I've only seen this narrative where women are trying to only get with men for their money only on TikTok. I know women in the age bracket of the host. Is it Noble? I know women in your age bracket, not just me. I've seen women on on panels on TikTok in your age bracket that are not saying that. They're not saying they don't even care about how much a man makes. So that's why I'm saying it's hard for me to sit up here and like accept that all women in your age bracket or all women in general, if you're gonna say that, only are trying to get with a man for their money.
Okay,
Miss E.
let me
Cooley,
say something,
hold on,
Rob, and then you
Noble.
can say something. One second. Man, I'm not saying that, like, exclusively for their money. That let me be clear. I'm not, and I'm speaking for myself. I'm not speaking for what Rob or any other man is saying. I'm not saying that these women only want to be with a man exclusively for their money, but to try to make it seem as if like they just don't, and even any woman in any day in any age demographic that's trying to make it seem like she doesn't care at all, that's just being disingenuous. That's being super disingenuous. Like like cut it out. Come on now.
Noble,
I,
here's. I'm not gonna talk all night, man. All I want to hear the lady say and I'll just be done because I don't have a dog in the fight, man. I set my intentions. I know how to get what I want. If Rob wants to go get some cheeks, he knows what to do to get some cheeks. If Rob wants the attention and the affection of a loving, caring, sweet lady, he'll go get that. All I'm asking for the men to know, for the ladies to say, is just like Miss Expert ranting and raving about, that's why we set the standard and you got to get this out of a man and get that out of a man and get that. I can also say the same thing as a grown man. When you're spending your $100 or $200 on whatever bougie food you're spending it on, you better be damn sure you get something out of it besides watching her eat your money. Outside of watching her eat your money, what are you getting? Is she an eloquent speaker? Is she charismatic? Is she funny? Does she have any qualities outside of just stuffing food in her mouth on your dime?
Okay, so are you talking about like the first date, Rob?
That's the topic of the conversation.
Okay, so
I'm
first
staying
date,
true to what
you
we're
both are
talking about.
gaining each other's enjoyable time, just spending time with each other. That's what the gain should be anyway,
Right, I
not
understand.
anything
Right,
outside of that.
right. So equally. So that's what I'm just clearly defining that. It's not about what Rob wants. It's not about what you want. I'm talking about the situation, what we're talking about from the host, right? The host is leading the conversation. I'm talking about what the host is talking about. So on a date, when a woman is saying, oh, you got to take me, don't take me here, don't take me here, don't take me there, take me here because this is elegant and whatever kind of bougie shit I made up in my mind. This is what I deem as elegant. All I'm saying is, what is she, besides eating the food that I'm paying for, what about that environment is going to elevate her character to make me say, oh, I really enjoy being around this person. I'm going to take her to another elegant ass date.
Might I add that is the first time he has actually defined that in the entire
I've been
conversation.
saying that all night long.
That is the very first time he has said, does she bring, any eloquence? Does she, have good, that is the first time he said that. He left it open-ended multiple times when he asked that question. And most guys are going to go in their minds to, am I getting some ass after this? If she's, if I'm beating this. That is the first time you said that this whole conversation.
Ma'am,
To answer you, Rob,
I said it because I wanted you to be woman enough to say, no, he's not just getting ass, he's getting me, and me being funny and me being college educated, and I can tell him about world news, and I can speak about my political beliefs, and I can speak about my common interests, and I can speak about how I love gardening,
well,
and I can speak about
I
how
wasn't gonna
that's
say
what I
that.
wanted an intelligent woman to say, besides her ass. Whatever she thinks she's reserving by having a standard, I wanted an intelligent, well-rounded woman to say,
I think Riri
no,
wanted to say
he's getting
something.
my company.
Yeah.
Said that.
Yeah,
Said that multiple times while we were
ask
having this conversation.
Yeah, I was gonna ask him earlier, like, did you mean specifically like sex, or because I would have figured if I'm going on a date with someone, I'd hope that it would turn into an actual committed relationship, because we both actually enjoy each other. So that's what I was wondering.
Yeah, that sounds real nice, but all I'm
And that's
asking for a
I didn't
woman
say
That's
to
what
that because I said that about myself on the day on the dates I was talking about that I had. So I was being upfront and very transparent in the things that I was saying. But you asked an open-ended question, and most men's mind, let's just be real, are going to go to, am I getting some ass after this if she's eating up my money? You just kept asking the question and not really defining what you were talking about. So now at the 11th hour, here you go. And to the gentleman that says I'm ranting and raving, sir, I'm not ranting and raving. I'm in a truck. I'm a truck driver, and I'm speaking into my phone so that I can be clearly heard amongst the noise behind me.
because
Thank you.
Okay,
the problem is,
let's let Rob. Hold on 1 second. Let's let Rob respond to reread, and then let's let Lati speak. Go ahead, Rob.
because the problem is that if you were truly being intentional about the time spent with that man, you would be able to voice that without me having to ask a very detailed question. If you knew inside of your spirit, inside of your soul, when a man asks you on a date, if you knew for sure that you're not just reserving access to your coochie, and there's more to you than that, and that's what you're going to express on that date, you would have simply said, well, he's not just getting, access to booty. I'm going to be funny on the date. I'm going to talk about who I am. I'm sharing something about myself with this guy. I want to know, I'm interested in who he is as a man. I'm interested to know if he's going to be a good father. Does he have a father? I'm interested to know what he likes to do
Y'all
on the weekends.
I'm
I'm
sorry, I
interested
have a
to
question.
Yeah,
see
to
that's my
respond to
question.
I'm
that,
confused. A first date, you're not knowing all that on a first date. You're really going on a first date to enjoy each other's time. As you build and have conversation with a person, then you get to learn if they're going to be a good father or a good mother or all that other stuff you just said. From a first date, I hope that is not the mindset that you're going into on a first date, because dating, you're getting to know a person. So maybe I'm just too old and out the game. Please explain it to me, because that's what I thought dating was.
Okay, if that's okay, all I'm saying is that if that's what you're saying is true, and I respect that, then back to the host, because it's not about me. I'm just speaking of what the host is asking us about. He said earlier that those women are irrelevant because they're not focused on getting to know me. They're focused on where I'm taking them and what they're eating. That don't have nothing to do with me.
I didn't hear that being said. Okay, I guess I was jumped in without the whole conversation.
Right, but that's the topic of conversation is women are saying where she wants to go and what she deems as a standard, where a place where she wants to go and where she wants to eat. But what does that have to do with knowing about me? That's all
Well,
I'm simply asking
that
as
would
a
be
woman.
nothing.
What does taking you to the steakhouse or to the hibachi spot or to the sushi have to do with you being interested in me?
Okay, so to that question, that's nothing. But like I think somebody was
So
saying,
stop.
that's not the
All we have to do.
intentions of the
So all we have to
list.
do is stop right
Okay.
there. All we have to do is
The
stop right
first
there and
date
say
is
that
to learn
there's
whether or
zero.
not I can even tolerate being around you. That's what a
Right.
first
So
date.
right.
All of
So
that
if the
other
first
stuff, all
hold
those
it
other
before you start
questions you're
ranting.
asking,
Before you
sir,
start
is second
ranting,
and third date
you're
stuff.
ranting,
I want to know if I
man.
can tolerate being around you for a second date.
You ranting. You ranting. So if what you're saying is true, that's what I'm saying. Deductive reasoning. Use your mind. If what you're saying to me is true, it sounds real nice. The first date is about you seeing if you interested in me and all this stuff. So what does that have to do with me spending $300 or $200 or $100 or
Who
fifty
said that you
dollars?
gotta spend that? Okay, okay, host,
Even Noble said this
can you tell?
earlier. Even Noble, didn't you say that earlier that when you first go on a date with a woman, you just trying to find out whether or not y'all can even tolerate being around each other, and most guys fumble that because they start talking about creepy shit. Didn't you say that earlier? So that's what a first date is for, to figure out whether or not you can even tolerate being around the person for a second date. And
So
Noble
while
said
okay,
that, not me.
I understand that. So before you get, because the thing is, when you speak, it's something about your voice. It just gets really like impassioned. So all I'm saying is, if what you're saying is true, that would mean that the list that women are requiring as a standard has no relevance.
Well, when I first looked at the
Can you
list
connect
or
those?
seen the
Hold
list
on.
on
Can you connect
Facebook,
those things together?
okay, huh?
Can you connect those two statements together?
No, that's what I was gonna tell you. When I first saw the list on Facebook, because I didn't, all I seen was the list, and it didn't, and then all it said was these are the date or some. What it was, a picture of a female, not this pic. It wasn't this girl, but it was a different female, and it said that I don't go on first dates with men who take me on, and then it was
Hmm.
the list. So for me, when I seen it, I was like, oh, she tripping, because I liked all the shit on the list. But when I heard the explanation of why the list was created, I'm like, okay, well, I could see them wanting more effort, because if a man is only doing the bare minimum to try to get to know me or whatever that is, then I don't really want that. So he would need to go the extra mile to show me that he's interested. And that's where I feel like my confusion is, because that's what was stated on this panel when I
Okay.
came in.
And what I'm trying to explain to you, Miss, if you're coming on the back end, because I'm with you. I'm listen. I'm a great teacher. I'm listening to you and I'm connecting with you, right? My my concern is that we're missing this connection between where we're at and what we're trying to get out of where we're at. I don't have to be in a $10,000 hotel room to understand that I want to go to sleep.
What?
I'm trying to make it simple in context. The room or the bed doesn't matter once I'm sleeping, right? Just like the amount of food we're eating has nothing to do with me getting to know you.
But that's what I keep trying to tell you, Rob, is you are so hyper focused
Mm-hmm.
on the amount of money, and no
But
one
you're
but
focused.
no one on this panel has said anything about the amount of money that is spent. No one but you has said anything about a Ruth's Chris. No one but you has said anything about a Fogo de Chao. No one but you has said anything about these expensive $500 steakhouses but you. No one. We have all said, and this was prior to you coming into the
But
live, that it could
Hold
ma'am,
be the
on,
most
Rob. Let her finish.
date. It could be the most inexpensive date as long as it took some effort and planning and thought. It could just be something that you both enjoy, and it doesn't have to cost a lot of money, but it's something that you both enjoy. No one but you is hyper focused on the amount of money. Not Noble, not me, not Riri, not the young lady who came in the room. The only person that keeps pushing this narrative about a $500 date, $1,000 date, this $10,000 room. The only person talking about that is you.
Yeah, and
because
that's and look, and yeah, she is right about that. No,
Beach.
no,
We,
no. Hold on,
we
wait,
said
wait.
we take up to the beach and get a picnic
uh,
blanket and some cute little cucumber sandwiches or whatever, and a woman would be happy with that. Everybody
Right.
else is saying that the money don't matter.
Yep,
Right.
and she yeah, and I'm gonna read the list,
Right.
and then we're gonna have Luddy speak because y'all
but
just all like.
okay,
But she
so
no, but she is right about that. Nobody here has been
brother,
fixated on dollar amount. Our whole
but the
thing was
thing
being
is, the
thoughtful and
problem
like
is,
she
as a
said.
man, that sounds nice. That sounds real good. But for most men in the world, like you said, like you claim there are average men, they're not going to even get the chance to go on a thoughtful picnic date at the free park in the city.